Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gomansing. A brazen midday shooting Monday in a St. Croix housing community left 2 children injured, and police are still searching for 1 suspect. They're investigating the incident that happened just before 2:30 p.m. near the D. Hamilton Jackson apartment homes. News 2's Erica Parsons has the story.
One man is in custody after a shooting incident that led to a 7-year-old minor and a 9-year-old minor being injured Monday afternoon.
The then was put out on the 2 suspects. We were unable to pick up the 2 suspects last night. However, one of the suspects, one Kirk Jordan, turned himself in with his attorney.
Police say Jordan and another man exchanged gunfire in the D. Hamilton Jackson housing community after an argument got out of control. Police are still searching for that second suspect.
We have 1 other suspect at large, one Johnny Encarnacion. That's at large. He is 150 pounds, 5'6" in height, ear, brown eyes, light complexion, and this individual frequents the Harbor View, LBJ, Christian State Town.
Police say the children were hurt as a result of the shootout, though none were struck by gunfire. Emergency responders transported them here to Juan Louis Hospital.
Yesterday, approximately 2:30 in the afternoon, we got a call from EMS to expect possibly multiple injuries related to gunshot, and we activated a trauma alert throughout the facility. Unfortunately, it was 2 minors, but fortunately, they were minor injuries.
They were brought via EMS. They were evaluated by the emergency room physician, and they were treated for injuries. They were then released to the custody of their guardians.
Hospital officials can't release specifics about what may have caused the children's injuries, but they are doing well. No one else was reported as being injured in Monday's daylight shooting, and police are asking the community to come forward with any information they have as this investigation continues. Erica Parsons, News 2.
In other news, as the government goes deeper into the 3rd quarter of the fiscal year, it has become apparent to Governor John DeYoung that the austerity measures being taken are not enough to cover some big holes in the budget. So the governor sent a bill to the Senate that would borrow millions as a last resort. News 2's April Knight has details.
In the face of a gaping $30 million budget deficit, hospitals in crisis, and badly needed road repairs, Governor John DeYoung is proposing to borrow more than $100 million. In a letter addressed to Senate President Sean Michael Malone, DeYoung detailed his request for authorization to issue bonds and notes to stave off the financial crisis.
It's not exactly an approach that I think all the senators will initially embrace. I know it'll take some discussions, and I know that it'll take convincing by my financial team when they meet with them. But I think it's the best approach that we have.
Of the amount to be borrowed, $30 million would cover the current fiscal year's budget deficit. Another $30 million would go toward capital for Juan Louis and Schneider hospitals. $10 million would go to WAPA in payment of the government's overdue electric bills, and $1.5 million would pay utility bills for the Bureau of Corrections. Other expenditures are also detailed in the proposal, but a chunk of the money, some $70 million, would fund road projects on St. Thomas and St. Croix, which would be repaid by money expected from the Federal Highway Administration.
The distribution of the projects between the 2 districts, and at the same time the criticality of the projects moving forward is the most important. And we're ready to go with those projects.
According to the governor, his administration did exhaust efforts to reduce spending and save money, but this is not enough, especially since the territory is still feeling the effects of the Great Recession and the closure of Havenza in 2012.
To avoid any drastic actions or cuts, the only way to get over this hurdle, particularly with only 4 months left in the fiscal year, is to look at the borrowing. Borrowing is not an option I would have wanted to do, but I think under the circumstances, it is the only way to address all these needs that we now have.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, the governor's proposal is set to be reviewed by the Senate on June 18th. Well, here's an update. Students returned to the Arthur Richards Junior High School Tuesday morning. The school was dismissed early on Monday because of a power outage. Over the weekend, the school experienced a blown fuse. WAPA officials determined that the problem stemmed from a faulty underground cable system having to do with the school's electrical wiring and not with WAPA. The authorities' crews assisted with repairs to the high-voltage system and completed the work Monday. The blown fuse also left homeowners in the area without power for a couple of hours over the weekend when WAPA interrupted service to address the issue. The VI Waste Management Authority invites St. Croix residents to a series of town meetings to discuss the proposed closure of the Cotton Valley bin site and proposed relocation of the Montbijou bin site. And your input is needed. These proposed actions are part of the plan to reduce the number of open bin sites and introduce additional convenience centers. A meeting began this evening at 6 p.m. at the Green Key Marina Conference Room. The meeting for the residents who use the Montbijou site will be held on Wednesday, June 11th at 6 p.m. at the John H. Woodson Junior High School's auditorium. This week, the Department of Labor will be undergoing professional development seminars. In turn, there will be some office closures. On Wednesday, June 11th, offices will be closed in the District of St. Croix, and Thursday, June 12th, offices will be closed in the St. Thomas St. John District. The respective offices will reopen the following business day at 8 a.m. The department will still be accepting calls during the days of the seminars. Meanwhile, the department's Youth Services Division has collaborated with the Virgin Islands election system to host 2 voters registration drives during the month of June. Each drive will be organized by the VI Department of Labor's Investing for Tomorrow interns, the LIFT interns. The goal of the drive is to target younger voters between the ages of 18 to 24. On St. Thomas, the drive will be held on Saturday, June 14th, and on St. Croix on Saturday, June 28th. Both events will be held at the Department of Labor's parking lots from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Machine demonstrations will be held, refreshments and music all available. Plus, through its Jobs for Veterans grant, the Labor Department also has now added 2 new disabled veteran outreach program specialists to the staff on both islands. DVOPs will be providing intensive services to veterans and their spouses who are determined to have significant barriers to employment. The DVOP specialist on St. Thomas is Mr. Wang Elgil, and he can be contacted at 340-776-3700, extension 2008, or Ms. Denise Powers, assigned to the St. Croix Job Center in Scion Hill. That number is 773-1994, extension 2132. Now, unemployed veterans and eligible spouses who are in need of services to assist in their re-employment efforts are encouraged to call. Innovative Companies and the Chamber of Commerce reminds you they're inviting you to an evening of business and class. As members of the St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce, Innovative Companies will be hosting Business After Hours on Thursday, June 12th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the Innovative Business Office lobby. The event will be an evening of networking and will feature an assortment of hors d'oeuvres by the St. Thomas Restaurant Group, live entertainment, gift bags for attendees, door prizes, and much more. Business After Hours is always an excellent opportunity to network. Innovative officials will talk about ongoing projects as well as plans for the future. Turning our attention overseas, 5 American soldiers have been killed in an apparent friendly fire, and they served our nation bravely ever since during the ceremony.
This is a proud day for the Borinqueniers and their families. It's a proud day for all those whose lives they saved and whose freedom they defended. It's a proud day for all Americans, especially Hispanic Americans who've made extraordinary contributions to our country, many through their military service. So on behalf of the American people, we want to thank all the Borinqueniers for their extraordinary service. You've earned a hallowed place in our history. And to those members of the 65th.
Keeping our eye on the economy, the Federal Aviation Administration has granted permission for the first commercial drone flights over land. AeroVironment, a California-based drone maker, has been given the go-ahead to use a Puma drone to survey pipelines, roads, and equipment in Alaska. The first flight took place Sunday. The agency is loosening its restrictions on the use of unmanned aircraft, which are less expensive than manned aircraft and easier to maneuver. Last week, the FAA said it's also considering giving filmmaking companies permission to use drones for aerial photography. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. The Dow 2, Nasdaq 1. Coming up on News 2, they took off in May. Find out now how the Rocketry Club has been doing ever since. Plus, another recognition. St. Croix's very own Chef Digby Stradiron was recognized as Chef of the Year during the Rum and Rhythm Live Cook-Off event that was sponsored by the Caribbean Tourism Organization. The National Park Service reminds the public that the Christiansted National Historic Site parking lot will open daily for 2-hour parking at 8:30 a.m. and then close at 4:30 p.m. Vehicles, they say, left after that will be removed at the owner's expense. Also, the visitor contact station located above the Columbus Landing will be closed to the public during the summer months. The visitor contact station will reopen on the 14th of November with a new exhibit and lecture series. For more information, you can contact the National Historic Site at 340-773-1460. Elena Christian Junior High's Rocketry Club, they were honored on Sunday. The club's advisor and science teacher, Steve Bullock, held a ceremony to outline the accomplishments of the students. They traveled to the national competition in May and placed 21st out of 100 competitors. Bullock also recognized Innovative and Hovenza for supporting the program for so many years.
One of the things that we are very excited about is supporting programs like this that allow students to, it's one thing to learn something in class, but it's a completely different thing to go out in the world and experience it and see it. I'm a little girl from Hill Street, Christiansted, but I was in close-up program, I was in the academically talented class. All of those things led me directly to where I am right now. I'm able to come back home and work. I can work here, I love it, but I also have the skills that I could survive anywhere in the world.
I want to really continue to encourage you to stay on this path of science, engineering, and technology. Those are the jobs that are going to change the Virgin Islands. Those are the jobs of the future. We're going to be looking for you, the students of Elena Christian Junior High, to go off, get your degrees, and come back home and take the refinery into the future in the event that there is a sale. So I'd just like to congratulate you again. I'll thank you for all the work that you're doing with the students.
Congratulations to all the students. 40 graduates from the Good Hope Country Day School filed across the stage Saturday to receive their diplomas and say goodbye to their high school years. Former Police Chief Christopher Howell was the commencement speaker for the first combined graduating class of the Good Hope and Country Day merger. Because of that, the school had 2 valedictorians and 2 salutatorians this year.
I know I am not the only one on this stage that a year ago envisioned themselves graduating at the campus center in a blue and yellow cap and gown. However, I am proud to say that today we stand together in black and gold as an emblem of both schools' strength and tenacious spirit that says we are one.
We are all better people today than we were when we entered high school because of our failures along the way. In Sarah Kay's poem, Point B, she says, "This life will hit you hard in the face, wait for you to get back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air. So do not be daunted."
Again, congrats to the students. Now, after engaging in the competitive application process, 5 high school students were named the recipients of the 2014 St. Croix Federation of Teachers Scholarship. The St. Croix Federation of Teachers congratulates 3 students of the St. Croix Educational Complex High School, Kendra Smalls, Savannah Alexander, and Akil Jones, 1 student of the St. Croix Central High School, Janelyn Hendricks, and 1 student of the Country Day Good Hope School, Jean Lawrence de Vera, for being the recipients of the 5 $1,000 scholarships. That presentation will be held on Wednesday at the Union office. Guy Benjamin Elementary School in St. John is definitely closing down. Education Commissioner Donna Fred Gregory announced yesterday that St. John's Public Schools will consolidate in the coming school year. That means the 73 students currently enrolled in Guy Benjamin will move to the Julius Sprouse School to fill classrooms and maximize staff utilization. At the core of the problem has been the decline in the number of students in Coral Bay. When the school closes, students living in the Coral Bay area will be bused to Julius Sprouse School in Cruz Bay, Be sure to count on 2 to keep you updated. On May 18th, St. Croix native Mrs. Amira Hamid Joseph wowed the crowd enough to be crowned Mrs. Pennsylvania America 2014 during the pageant. Mrs. Jennifer Parada was crowned Mrs. New Jersey America that same evening in dual pageants held at the DoubleTree by Hilton in Princeton, New Jersey. Born on St. Croix, Amira and her husband left to pursue her Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering. Philadelphia is the place they both called home for the past 15 years. Amira's career spans positions at several Fortune 500 companies, including Johnson & Johnson and ConocoPhillips. Additionally, Amira has performed throughout the stage and screen with several notable acting appearances and feature roles in film, television, and stage, such as BET and True TV. And we will be sure to catch up with the Queen later this week, who is preparing for Miss America in Tucson, Arizona on August 29th. Interchanges for Girls and Boys Council, Inc. It's a nonprofit organization since 2008 that partners with the Department of Human Services, Education, and the National Parks to provide quality after-school programs for the youth in the community. Now, on Thursday, June 12th, they will be highlighting their signature program called the Elite Charm School. The program teaches young girls from ages 5 to 18 manners, etiquette, social graces, public speaking, nutrition, and swimming in combination with professional presenters and field trips. They say it is the end of the year debut, and they're inviting anyone who wants to learn more to be sure to come out and support the young women. St. Croix's very own Chef Digby Stradiron was recognized as Chef of the Year during the Rum and Rhythm Live Cook-Off event that was sponsored by the Caribbean Tourism Organization. Chef Digby stood out among 30 other Caribbean competitors with his USVI-inspired red grout dish. The Rum and Rhythm competition was just one of many ways the territory was prominently featured during CTO's annual New York City Caribbean Week. Commissioner Beverly Nicholson Doty said that Chef Digby did a great job interpreting the VI's personality through his culinary talents. Big congratulations there. Well, be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.